Hello, my well-being community. Today I want to talk to you about retraumatization, and I will do this video in Arabic as well, because always when I do in Arabic they tell me please do in English and vice versa. So it's such an important topic and I will cover in both languages. So these days for us in Lebanon, tragedies are occurring on a daily basis, and when they are occurring, another time, we experience trauma and all of its associated symptoms. So re-traumatization is when again another tragedy occurs, and all the graphic details as well make their way into our subconscious mind and our lives. And again, we have the news coverage 24/7, and all the social media is flooded with constant updates. So re-traumatization, when does it occur? It occurs when any situation, interaction, or any environmental factor replicates events or dynamics of prior trauma, and all those reactions and feelings are triggered again, and they are also connected to the original traumatic experience. So basically, when the fire happened at the port, directly it triggered the painful memories again of the explosion on the 4th of August. And this makes it even more difficult to let go of and to process. So basically, the possible effects of re-traumatization, they include the loss of trust and security, feelings of pessimism, it's the end of the world, fatalism, less enthusiasm as well when it comes to being optimistic. I don't want to be optimistic anymore. So this is something that we are hearing all the time. There's no use getting my hopes up, for instance. More intense flashbacks as well, and nightmares disturbing the sleep pattern, persistent fears, sometimes leading up to paranoia as well, and also hypervigilance. يعني النقزة سريعة وقت الواحد مثلا عم يسمع صوت أو خبطة باب يلي بالعادة it doesn't really affect, but now this hypervigilance is really increasing. So in general, an increase in invulnerability, and basically a very strong reaction, maybe becoming even aggressive, higher incidence of self-harm as well, and attempts at suicide, and possible delusions and hallucinations as well, related to the re-experiencing of those emotions connected to the re-trauma. So basically, again, when it comes to, because of my specialty in mind-body medicine, so I always like to link as well the mind or the emotions to the body, because everything that happens to us on a subconscious level is directly connected to our physical body and physical state. So basically, the greater the stress, the greater the anxiety, the chronic stress is related to the onset or exacerbations of numerous medical conditions, such as cardiovascular disease, arthritis, diabetes, respiratory disorders, digestive disorders as well, in terms of pain, fibromyalgia, insomnia, and of course it affects the reproductive functioning as well, leading to loss sometimes of the reproductive functioning. So many people, if they're trying to get pregnant nowadays, some are finding it really hard without even an organic cause stopping them from getting pregnant. So another of my favorite specialties as well is self-care. So I always say, please allow self-care to be your primary care. So about self-care for the people who are experiencing trauma, self-care, of course, is very, very helpful, and it is extremely crucial at this time. And I will share with you some exercises. So there's the 5 4 3 2 1 exercise. It's important for you to be centered in your heart, if not really grounded, because again, when there's an explosion, it's not really healthy to really ground, because again, the ground is no longer there. So it's important again to find ground in groundlessness, certainty in a time of uncertainty. And this is a state that we can cognitively reach through exercises. So basically, you can describe right now 5 things you currently see. You can describe 4 things you currently feel at this moment. For example, a pencil in my hand. This is something that I feel right now. How does it feel? Is it cool? Is it hot? Is it cold? Describe 3 things you can hear. For example, I can hear now cars. I can hear the sound of the AC. I can hear the music from outside. Describe 2 things you can smell right now. I can personally smell the sage, for instance, my perfume as well. And describe like 1 good thing about yourself. So let's say I'm perseverant in times of stress and crisis. So when you do this 5 4 3 2 1 exercise, it's really do it, and you tell me how what effect it has on you. Of course, you can always call me, call a friend, focus on what they have to say. Also allow yourself like to be carried away by the conversation, to detach from the moment and to focus on what they have to say, and also like be courageous in expressing to them how you feel. Always like taking baths, using salts in your bath is a good idea, essential oils. Let the experience of the warmth from the water wash over you. Focus as well on the sensation and how great it feels to cleanse your outer body as well. Maybe light some candles, play some music, always focusing again on what you see, what you feel, the sounds, the scents. Moving around is very important, like taking off your shoes, doing walking meditation. I once showed you how I do that in nature. Your feet on the floor, rubbing a bit of frankincense oil on the bottom of your feet. It's really very helpful. Doing stretching, noticing sensations within your body. Let's say comparing your upper body to your lower body and how they feel. Always describing them to yourself, journaling about them so that you can also stay in the moment. Very important. Doing guided meditation also, so that you are completely in the here and the now. Again, meditation and breathing, they're not for everyone. However, of course, research studies and my clinical experience, they've shown me that they reduce a lot of stress and anxiety and depressive symptoms. Distract yourself with a project. It's always important to start something new. My mother, for instance, is painting most of the day. Engage in an activity that you really like, that is soothing, that brings you pleasure, that relieves you, that brings you happiness. So basically, those are some tips. Resilience is very important. We are all survivors. We've survived Beirut's explosion, and all of us, we might be experiencing re-traumatization. Remember that healing is not a straight line. Be gentle on yourself. There are highs, there are lows. The way you react in one moment, doesn't evaluate or define your overall progress. Please be mindful of that. um, so recognizing signs, recognizing signals, what I mentioned, very important, and this is how you can keep on growing your resilience. And the ability to heal yourself always is there by learning to recognize and to identify and to grow the skills and the tools and the strengths, so that you go back to a state of, or move forward rather, I don't like to say go back, to self-regulate rather. So there's always this intention, we want to only go forwards and upwards, and of course learn how to self-regulate. Everyone's healing journey is different, and I'm always, against the one size fits all model. There's no one size fits all, and it's very important for you to understand that you're not alone, and we are all here with you on this journey, and we are all going through something quite similar, and we are here at Wellbeing Center, ready and willing to help you. My love to all of you, wishing you well-being, and take care until next time. Ciao, ciao.